Good evening, friends. I am Ravindra Srinivasa from SRAA Media. I have with me Jaya Nair, a transformative coach from Bangalore. I welcome Jaya Nair to our knowledge sharing program. Welcome Jaya Nair to our program.
Thank you, Ravindra, for having me in your program. It's a pleasure.
We are delighted to have you in our program, madam.
Thank you. Thank you.
I would like to request you to introduce and brief about you.
Yeah, I'm a therapist and a coach. So I've been doing this for quite some time now. A short background, I was born in Trivandrum and my childhood up to 12 years was there. The rest of my education I did in Delhi because my father was there. And I spent 22 years in Calcutta, and in various fields I worked. I graduated from Delhi, LSR in Delhi, and Delhi University, that is. And I did a short certificate course in management from Calcutta IIM. And I have been doing all kinds of jobs because in my generation, I think women were not trained to be career oriented. So I wanted to join an office, and many of my friends actually joined school and college, and for teaching, that was a favorite profession. But I chose to join an office, and I was with a multinational company. And then I got married and had 2 children. So I came to Bangalore 22 years back. So that was also with a job and in the corporate world. And somehow I got sort of drawn to behavioral skills training. I was in HR, so I found a lot of need for behavioral skills. So I started training in a very small way in the company, and later on left my job to actually do training. Then it was a progression into counseling and all these modalities, which I do now also. So I got trained to be a therapist, and I'm still getting trained to be a therapist when I get an opportunity to pick up another modality or an advanced course of the same modality. I like learning. But not in a very structured way, I think. I like to pick up what I like, not like I want to do a PhD in something. I'm not very academically oriented, but I am oriented for knowledge. So I make a distinction there. So that is where I am.
So you go where your soul takes you.
Yeah, practically all my life I've done that. And I think I survived well. And now the children are grown up and I've got grandchildren, and it's a good space.
Very nice. Today, now, Jaya Nair, what knowledge you are going to give us and what subject you are going to talk?
I really don't know what you would like me to talk about. So if you could give me a topic, or if you tell me what you would like to know in terms of therapy or in terms of mental health of people, which I am interested in, or maybe the modalities I do, whatever you wish to know.
Yeah, you can introduce the modalities of what you are doing and the various modalities where you are giving the services to the people. So that introduction part I would like to know. Then I think we will go for mental health, because that is the primary thing which every human being
Yes.
is required, because that is the base and that is the one which take all the people to the highest level.
So I do a lot of modalities. Actually, I do hypnotherapy, which I advanced, and I've done the advanced session of hypnotherapy and regression therapy. And I practice quite a bit of that. And I do a modality called family constellation, which is very interesting to understand how your behavior changes with what kind of family you come from, what your ancestors are. And a lot of things can be, addressed, or at least we can get awareness out of it through this modality. It is a modality where you are represented by other people. So you're not directly there, so you see things in a different light. So your awareness is much higher. And then I do radical healing. Uh, I do energy work. So many modalities. And now I think what I practice is a lot of integration of all these modalities as well. Even in, I might use what that person requires. It is not my need. I don't prefix what I should do with a person who comes to me. I take it as, what their need is and what they can do. Like, for example, I can say a completely left-brained person may not be very comfortable with hypnotherapy.
Okay.
Because they feel that they are losing their control.
Mm-hmm.
So I might use a modality which is more cognitive. So they understand where they are going in a conscious level.
Okay.
But still we are working with the subconscious mind, but in a different way. So that is how I like to work with people. And people come from all walks of life, so their interests are different, their needs are different, their problems are different. So we have to understand that when we choose the modality. This is what I feel.
Okay, that is fine. So you do according to the need and necessity of the client or
Absolutely.
person who approaches you. That is
Absolutely.
fantastic, and that gives the good result. Now, let us proceed with the mental health.
So what mainly I deal with is all about mental health. Everything starts with a thought.
Yes.
And then you get into emotions, and then you get into energy levels, and finally, maybe into your physical body. So many of the ailments, in fact, all the ailments that you have an energetic background to it. So if you can find the metaphysical reason for that illness, it is much easier to heal it than anything else. So that is what actually alternate therapy does. They go to the root of the problem, which might be from your childhood or even in your past life. So a lot of things happen which we are not even aware of, because we are only aware of what we are consciously understanding or consciously going through. But our subconscious mind is almost 88% of our mind. So we are using only a very small part called the conscious mind. So the rest of it is stored in the subconscious mind, from where we have to work towards getting relief for any kind of ailment or mental ailments as well. Another thing I find, even now it is much better. When I started working in this line, what I have found is that in our country, mental health was not given very much of an importance. We did not address the issues which people go through on an everyday level. Mental health is not about, something big happening. Like one day somebody rang me up and he told me, I want to consult you because there's some issues that I need to talk about and I need to get resolution for. It's not that I'm depressed or anything. See, you don't have to wait till you get depressed.
Correct. Mm.
Working with mental health does not mean that you have to go to the level of depression before you're willing to accept it and address it.
Mm.
We are going through everyday issues, and that has to be addressed timely. Then you won't get into a depression.
Mm.
This is something which most people even today find it difficult to understand and to address.
Mm.
And it is in our country, I think if you go to a therapist, the usual word which is used is you're mental. You're not mental.
See, in our country, when anybody speaks about mental health, so immediately people will come to conclusion that they are mad people.
Correct.
See, my question, my simple question: what is mental health? Is it understanding capacity, or is it behavioral capacity, or is it attitude towards others, or it is
all of that.
combination of all?
It's a combination of all.
Okay.
There is nothing called the perfect way.
Mm.
We have to deal with the world outside. We don't have any choice.
Mm.
So when we are dealing with the world outside, there might be a lot of things you don't agree with, but you have to deal with them.
Mm.
And no use getting into an upset state. You can deal with it in a much more peaceful way. And that is why I think that people have to think of their mental health as something which is necessary for them, just like your physical health. You go for an yearly checkup every year. Why don't you go for a yearly checkup of your mental health?
Mental health has become most negligible or least priority, and even most of the people don't know about it. They need a consultation, they need a health checkup, they need verification. And I would like to ask, in this point of discussion, I would like to ask, when a person, under what circumstances a person should able to understand himself or herself that they need to check up mentally also. Physically, everybody knows when pain comes, when something is find disturbing in the body, any
Just
part
like
of the
that.
body, so they consult doctor for physical examination.
Just
X-ray.
like your physical pain, there is mental pain which you are not addressing. There are disturbances which you are not addressing. You may find the same thing happening to you every day. Why do you fight with your boss every day, for example? There is something that you need to address. Maybe it is not him alone. There is something within you also which you are not accepting. Okay. So there are many things which we are not aware of inside our mind. Mind is huge. And so many things are happening. There are 40,000, minimum 40,000 thought forms go through your mind every day. are you able to handle it?
At a time,
So-
if 2-3 problems, if 2-3 thoughts observed at a time, then it will be
Yeah.
very difficult to digest it.
That
Or
is what I'm
it is
saying.
very difficult to address it.
So that is why it is necessary for you to understand where all this is coming from. And you can have ways in which you can be peaceful even within your circumstances. You cannot change your circumstance.
Hmm.
Can you? How much of your circumstance will you change? Maybe you can run out of one job, you will go to another one. It might be another set of problems there.
Yes.
Here you had one set of problems and you go to another set of problems there. Problems are everywhere. So accept those problems as being part of life, but you have to learn ways in which you can deal with them in a more peaceful manner.
Hmm.
And that is what mental health is all about.
So you mean to say mental health is to make the person capable of handling any given situation.
Any given situation.
That is called mental health. That is that training or
That is the purpose of mental health facilitators. Let me tell you, let me make it one
more
sentence.
clear. Okay.
Yeah. By facilitating your mind to accept things and go on in a peaceful manner, you may need to go to somebody. Just like you go to a doctor. What's wrong with it? You're not mad.
Hmm.
You just have to look after your mind just as much as you look after your body. In fact, more so. Your body will not give you trouble if you look after your mind.
And at this point, I have one more question with you. We know brain is situated in our head.
Yes.
Heart is situated somewhere on the left side of the left portion of the chest. And every visible parts we can see, we can analyze, and there are a lot of articles are available, lot of images are available, but we don't know where the mind is situated, and we don't know how it looks like, what is its image, how to feel the mind.
The mind is all over your body.
All over the body. Okay, you mean to say, is it related to skin, or it is related to sense organ, or something like that?
It is related to your senses.
Okay.
Not necessarily sense organs alone.
Okay.
Like if you feel, suppose you feel sadness, you think you will feel it only in your heart, but you can feel it in your stomach also. You can feel it anywhere in the body.
Okay.
So your consciousness is spread over the whole body. So the mind is also all over the body. That is why I said by addressing the mind, you can avoid lot of illnesses in the body. Because a lot of illnesses come out of when you feel angry. Where do you feel it in the body?
Anger symptoms like heart rate will go up, body will become more heat.
Body will become more heat. Which
Yes.
part of the body?
All part of the body, totally.
There you are.
Right?
You just answered my question. So if you can feel anger all over your body, you can feel every other emotion also all over your body, right?
Definitely. And some part of the body may get shaken, hand will shake, eyes will become red. See, these are all the symptoms of anger.
In various levels and stages.
and you may,
depending on which level of anger you are. The
yes,
red eyes
yes,
will happen when it is rage.
yes,
A
and
simple anger will not give you red eyes.
feeling
So it is all
uncomfortable
over
in,
the body, right?
yeah, feeling uncomfortable in breathing also sometimes.
So there you are. You've
Hmm.
answered your own question.
Hmm.
So
So
if
that,
anger can be all over, everything else can also be all over.
okay,
And another thing is, anger is not just an emotion, it's also a symptom. It's like pain. What is
okay.
behind that anger? When do you get angry?
So it again goes back to the emotions.
When do you get angry?
Most of the time when things are not happening according to the expectations.
Thank you. That is that you feel that you're losing control over the situation.
Yes. We expect
That is,
something and something is happening.
but you also get angry if you go back and see when you got angry with your child, the child was behaving in a certain manner and you didn't have any control over that, you get angry.
Yes.
And you also get angry when you feel helpless, when you feel that you can't do anything. You will get angry. There are so many emotions you will get angry about. But we are not aware of all this. We only recognize anger because that comes with a force.
Yes.
But behind that anger, there are so many things. Suppose you got annoyed with your boss and you come home. The child asks you something. You will get angry with the child.
Yes. And there is
But
no
what are
mistake
you
of,
actually feeling? The irritation with the boss.
yes, and without any problem of the child, the anger
You
will
get
pass
angry.
on to the child.
So this is how your mind works. These are not separate from each other. They are together.
Okay. Nice, Jaya Nair. We got some brief introduction about the mental health, and we would continue our session with more detailed discussion on mental health, how to recognize it, how to understand it, and when a person requires mental health checkup, and when a person needs the therapist. When a
First of
person
all,
needs,
you have to, the need depends on you.
yes,
You have to recognize that you need improvement in certain area of your life. That is where the need for mental health comes.
yes,
And everybody needs it. It is not that I am exempt from it. When I feel uncomfortable with something which is happening in my life, I call up one of my friends and say, do a session for me.
oh, is
I
that
have
way?
no problem with it. Because I'm also living in this world. I'm not separate from all this. I also have my own problems, and I have to deal with it. The only difference is I'm willing to address it because I know that that can give me relief.
I think first we should recognize ourselves. What is the problem?
Absolutely. What is the problem and where do you want to go from here? Do you want to continue like this? That is a choice.
So understanding and self-awareness and understanding our own problem is the key factor. And it is a deciding factor.
Accepting the fact that you're just a human being and you can have mental issues. Mental does not mean mental psychiatric issues. It can be a simple thing like anger. I don't think there is anybody living who hasn't got angry.
Correct, true.
So
thank you.
It can be some.
Yeah, thank you very much. Again, we will meet and we will have some more discussion on mental health. Thank you.
Thank you for inviting me.
Namaste.
Thank you for this opportunity.
We are.
Good night.
Good night.